Tonight, we're going to make little pretzel bites using Pillsbury Crescent Dough. This is the sheet. I didn't buy the crescent roll themselves this time. And what we're going to do, we've got water boiling here. And to that water, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of baking soda, which foams up pretty good. And that's boiling. So now what we're going to do is open this, maybe by peeling off some paper first, because it's not popping like that. There it did. It's rough looking. Let me get a sheet of parchment paper out here. While I'm doing this, I'll tell you that the reason that you boil pretzels and bagels actually is because it reacts with the starches, it changes the pH of the dough, and then when you bake it, it reacts in what they call a Maillard reaction. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And it makes a different flavor and a crispy crust. And I'm gonna wish I had opened this up beforehand because I'm not getting anything. So we're going to do it this way. I'm nothing if I'm not flexible. I don't know how much of this will be on video, but maybe some of it. This is kind of playing into the plans here, believe it or not, because what we're going to do is cut this into strips and make our pretzels out of those strips. So we need our little pizza cutter now that we have the dough rolled out. And we'll make it about that wide. I'm looking kind of for a thin pretzel, so we'll see what happens. Now, we've got that cut. Let's get this piece out of the way. And what we're going to do is just roll the dough into a tight little pencil. If we can. This is going to be interesting because I can see layers in this because of the way we rolled it out. So I'm guessing this is going to work. I hope this is going to work, but we'll know for sure in a few minutes. Now what we'll do is turn this around so I can do it more accurately. And then we'll cut our little bite-sized pretzels. One thing I did forget is a paper towel to drain these on when they come out of this hot water. So what we do is we're going to put these in our slotted spoon, not very many at a time. We're going to put them in the hot water for about 30 seconds. I don't know how I'm really going to tell 30 seconds. Well, these are ragged looking and not saying rolled up very well. But I don't really care. If they taste like pretzels, that'll be fine. I'm going to give these a twist and see if that makes a difference to them. I'd say the first 4 have been in the water long enough. So let's take them out. They don't look much like pretzels right now. Speaking of pretzels, the bow-shaped ones that we're familiar with, I just found out that the original reason for that shape was it's supposed to look like crossed folded arms. And I never knew that before. Let's turn these over so all sides of them get boiled. These are a little better shaped than the first 4, but they're still kind of not really what I was hoping they'd look like. But it is, after all, kind of an experiment. You can see the layers are actually separating, which is what's causing that weird shape. But I suspect that's going to make no difference to the flavor. My water is cooling off a little. We'll just give that a couple more seconds because that water wasn't quite boiling. The oven is hot, and we're almost ready for the oven. Okay, we're going to call these completely boiled. And the burner is shut off and unplugged. What we're going to do now is we're going to line all these babies up on this pan, which I put parchment paper in. And I held down the corner of the parchment paper with the tabs of butter, which I showed you in a video much earlier. These are we're going to see if they roll back up a little bit here for baking purposes. I don't know how many pretzels I'm going to get. I believe they're going to be soft pretzels. I don't think they're going to be crunchy at all, especially as big around as they are. But that's okay, because soft pretzels are good too. There's certainly going to be some weird shaped pretzels, if indeed they become pretzels at all. I think they will. I don't know if it's because they boiled at a lower temperature, or didn't boil actually for a while, or left them in too long or what. But this particular last batch is kind of sticky, and those we're just going to let stay there. Now what we're going to do, and I say that far too often, but what we're going to do next, this is egg wash. It's made with 1 egg and a tablespoon of water. And we're going to brush each one of these with this. This should make it crusty on the outside and pretty, and it'll also help hold our salt on, which is the next step after this. I used to deliver eggs up in Bangor, Maine, and I delivered to a bagel shop, Zabit's Bagels. He went through, he ordered eggs that were already out of the shell and in cans. And I think they were 30-pound cans. And I think he went through 2 of them a week just doing this. So imagine how many bagels he was producing, which were the best bagels I've ever had. All right, now that's done. What we're going to do now is add some really coarse salt, which is appropriate for pretzels. And we're going to put quite a bit of it on each one because it'll shake off some anyway. I use this salt in one of the cookies I make. So every once in a while, I crush it up a little bit first anyway to make it a little bit finer than this, but not anywhere near table salt fine. And I use it in those cookies. Every once in a while, you get a little bite of salt. It is so good. Combination of the sweet cookie and the salt. Okay, those are ready for the oven. So I'll drop them in the oven and I'll be back in a few minutes. Here's our little pretzels. As you can see, they are nicely browned and feel like a pretzel. And they taste like a pretzel. I'm actually kind of liking them. I'm going to get them off the pan so they cool off a little bit. Now, I did end up cooking these longer than I had originally thought it would be. I took them out after 12 minutes and they were still doughy in the inside. So actually I only took one out. So I left the rest in the oven for another 3 minutes and they still weren't quite done. So then again, I put them in for another 3 minutes and I reduced the temperature to 350 from 400, thinking that they might not burn and they'd dry out somewhat. It seemed to work because they are drier. They're much lighter than they were. And they are pretzels and they taste good. So that's where we're going from there, I guess. Let me show you a little pretzel, kind of close up maybe. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next video.